Hey on Instagram. Okay, here we are. We are live. Fix that just a wee bit. Hey, everybody on Instagram. Hey, everybody here on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I am super excited. Oh, y'all, it's been a minute since I've been live. Yes. But I'm super excited. I've got some nuggets and notes for you guys today. If you are hopping in, I just want you to say, hey, let me know who's watching. If you are watching the replay, I also want you to say, hey, and let me know you are here. Listen, if you are a coach, a consultant, if you know someone who is a coach or consultant is looking to grow their business, this live stream is going to be for them. So I want you to tag them. I want you to share it. Not going to be super long, but I do have some nuggets for you. I should have moved this up a little bit so I could see the comments on Instagram, but you know what? We're going to work this out. All right, guys. So listen, if you happen to be new to me for some reason, this is your first time catching one of my broadcasts, my name is Tiffany Bethia, and I equip women of faith with the tools to build a thriving life and business that they love. I do that through two brands, Save Black Girl and my Income Incubator brand coaching. And today I'm going to be talking about the brand coaching side, building the thriving business that God has called you to. And I'm really excited. It's been an incredible few months in my own business and for my clients. And I just kind of had this epiphany that I was like, man, I want to share something that I don't think enough people know or realize when it comes to growing their business. And so I titled this very intentionally, the number one marketing mistake that coaches are making. Now, you may not even be a coach, but you may be able to still benefit from this live stream, because if you have a any type of digital business, then what I'm going to be talking about is going to benefit you. All right. So are y'all ready for the number one marketing mistake? First of all, let me set this up. I had a conversation with a client, I don't know, maybe like last week. And one of the things that she said was, to be honest, marketing is just so frustrating. It's just like, and I feel like marketing is becoming like the M word. It's like the word no one wants to talk about. It's like, you need this in your business, but it's so frustrating. It's so overwhelming. And so one of my goals is always to just kind of simplify and break down what you need to be doing in your business and how. So if you're in that boat, you're kind of feeling frustrated, I do have some free videos that you can go back in. Particularly if you're watching me on Instagram, but I would encourage you to come over to my YouTube, my Facebook page, where you can really find the full video library, because I have other videos that really kind of break down concepts around your email and your social media and all of these different things. So I just wanted to give you that, because I feel like I know marketing is like, hey, right? And sometimes it's just frustrating and it's annoying, and it's why people aren't doing it consistently until they realize that they need additional clients, right? And so if you are someone who God has given you a coaching business and you are out there, you want to transform lives, there's something that you want to help people do, and you want to do it through the vehicle of coaching or courses or even speaking, but it's like guesswork. You can't really figure out like how to get the business to be consistent, how to generate consistent sales. I've got something for you today. I want to talk about it. All right. So this is going to be so simple. I'm going to break down what the mistake is, but then I'm going to break down how that mistake is looking. Okay. So the number one marketing mistake that most coaches are making is, drum roll, please. I need a drum roll sound. You never officially launched. I'm going to say that again. You never officially launched. I have talked to so many clients over the past couple of months. And when they come to me, they're like, oh my goodness, you know what, Tiffany? I didn't even realize that I was supposed to officially launch my business. I created my course. I created my coaching program. I created my event or whatever it is. And I kind of like posted it on social media a little bit. I shared it with a couple of people, but I never actually fully launched my program. Now, some of you may be saying, well, wait a minute, did I do that? Did I not do that? So I'm going to tell you what a launch is. I have my notes over here. Y'all gonna see me looking at my notes because I definitely jotted down some notes for you. Now, this is funny because a lot of times, many of you know I'm also an ordained minister of the gospel. And so a lot of times I typically have 3 points. I don't have 3 points for you today. I have a little bit more than that because I want to really give you some nuggets that I know are going to be valuable. But what is a launch? You might be saying, okay, wait a minute, Tiffany, I don't know if I launched my business or not. Tell me what it is so I can know whether or not I did that. Okay. So we're talking about hosting a live launch for your business, not kind of just sending out a couple of emails, not just sneaking it on social media or not sharing it at all, but having an official live launch. Okay. So, excuse me. A live launch is a time sensitive, get this, right? It's a time sensitive live selling moment that gives your audience a limited time to enroll in your signature offer. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time. When we're talking about did you ever host a live launch? A live launch is a time sensitive live selling moment that you invite your audience to, and it's giving them a limited time to enroll in your signature offer. Now, you can host these once or twice a year or quarterly or as however often you need to meet your particular business goals. But I want you to think back, did you ever host a live selling moment? Some of those live selling moments look like a webinar, they look like a masterclass, they might look like a 3 to 5 day challenge or some moment that you bring and invite your audience to for the purpose of opening enrollment for your program, but for a limited time. Now, I want to talk about, well, why would I do that? Like, what are some of the benefits? And then I'm going to talk about how you do it. All right. This is what you are missing out on in your business. Okay. So, first, that live selling moment that you host is going to do a couple of things. It's going to create urgency and scarcity for your audience. Many of you have a program or a course, but people kind of, they know they can just buy whenever. So there's no urgency or motivation for them to enroll now, unless the doors are closing Friday. Right? That is something that is creating urgency inside of your program. It's giving people a motivation for the fact that, no, I can't come back to this later when I just feel like it. I need to do it now. Hey, Javon, how are you? Right? So that's number one. And that's a big one because if you're someone who understands the psychology of sales and you understand how people buy and how people move, one of the things that you understand is that people need motivation to purchase now. There are people in your audience who see your products and they see your services and they are interested, but you need to actually entice them and give them a reason to buy now, right? And so having a live launch moment gives people an urgency that says, okay, this person has the transformation I need to move me from where I am to where I want to be. And also, if I don't get in this program right now, I'm going to miss my moment. I'm going to miss my opportunity. I better purchase now. Okay. Now, here are a couple of other benefits before I break down how you do this. All right. Excuse me. Share this out. If you know someone who is a coach, who is a consultant, who is a speaker, and they're looking to grow their audience through providing services and transformation, but they're still not seeing just consistent sales, it's kind of sporadic, it's a bunch of word of mouth, then I want you to share this video with them, okay? So the second benefit that I want to talk about of doing a live launch, can y'all hear that? I feel like nobody ever gets their grass. The neighbors don't get their grass cut until you go live. Is it me? So hopefully that noise is not completely ridiculous in the background. I'll know when I see the replay. However, the second benefit of having a live launch is you get real-time feedback on your conversion and your offer. So you've seen people sell their courses maybe through having a webinar or something that's not time sensitive, that's not right now. We would call that evergreen, right? And evergreen absolutely brings in sales. However, your live launching moments give you real time feedback on how well does this convert? Does this messaging line up? Like, it gives you the data that you need, really honestly, to set up your ongoing evergreen ad and campaign that's going to bring you new clients and people every day. And so I often recommend to my clients that they do a live launch before setting up an evergreen campaign. Why? Because you have the data that you need around your messaging, around your conversion, around how well does this actually perform before I sit it over there to just run on its own. A lot of people are looking to make passive and automated sales when they really haven't done enough on an active basis to say, I know this converts, I know why it converts. Now I can automate this and let this run in the background. Okay. So that's just a little bit tidbit. And the third thing is you get real time feedback on your content, on the messaging that you are sharing to entice people. One of the things I teach my clients to do is what I call create magnetic messaging. And so we go through all of this data and these processes of finding out two very specific things. What is the pain that my audience is feeling, and what is the language that they use to describe it, and what is the promise that my audience wants, and what is the language that they use to describe it. So I'm going to use Javon since she popped in here. If you are a financial coach, if you work with people around building wealth and retirement and insurance and all of these things, then part of what you're trying to figure out is what is the pain, what is the thing keeping them up at night that it would drive someone to say, I need her services. But the B clause of that is, what are the specific words that they use? What are the phrases that as you use this in their marketing, in your marketing, it's like magnetic. It like draws them in and they can't help but be drawn to what you're saying. You find that out with live interaction with your audience. One of the best things I ever learned when it came to marketing and even messaging and copy was don't pull it from your mind, pull it from your market. Now, I just gave y'all something. I don't know, did you miss it? Okay, but I just gave you something. Don't pull your messaging from your mind. So don't just make up the words and the phrases that you think are going to resonate, but actually talking to your audience, polling with them, interacting with them gives you a stronger sense and actual data that you can now work from and say, I know that when I use this language, this actually draws in the exact type of people who are looking for my services. Okay, so those are some of the benefits of doing an actual live launch. And I'll add in a bonus. I didn't put this here, but live launches also tend to be a really great cash infusion for your business, because with your evergreen campaign you're going to see trickles in, a few people a week, a few people a day, whatever it is. But when you have this live launch moment and you have your webinar, you have your challenge, you have your masterclass, and you've gathered this group of people to offer to them, now you have this moment where you have a higher chance for conversion at one time. Okay. So one of my clients, I actually just walked her through doing her first 3-day challenge, and she generated $20,000. I should have put that in the title, right? I should have put that in the title. Okay. So, but I want to talk to you about, well, how do we do that? How do we help her generate 20K with her first 3-day challenge, right? I'm gonna talk about that. So let me walk you through the pieces and the steps that I teach my clients. Okay, so I'm giving you some insider news and tips right here. Okay, but I want to walk you through what does it look like. Okay, I call it the movement launch method. It's the movement launch method. Why do I call it that? Because what I want you to understand is your coaching program, your course, whatever service you are offering, it is not just that. It is a movement. It is built around a problem that you see your audience commonly experiencing, and you know that you have a solution to end that problem. For me, the movement is abundance and building kingdom wealth through entrepreneurship. And so it's much bigger than just helping coaches get a few more clients. I understand that these coaches are able to use their course, their service, their consulting to build kingdom wealth. I always tell my clients, you are transforming lives, and your life should be one of them. I am transforming lives. And guess what? Mine is in the number. And I want you to have that same mindset. So, what is the movement that you are helping? Now, I want you to realize that when it comes to, and actually have, where did I put those notes? I don't know why I can't find them. I want to read this specific thing because this was so good, and I just came across it and I was like, oh, I love this. I want to say this to them when it comes to what it means to build a movement. Here we go. Here we go, right here. I'm pulling up some extra notes, guys, that I thought I had set on here. And I really want you to see this because I really thought long and hard, and I really sought the Lord around like, what is this method? What am I teaching them? And he said to me, Tiffany, I want you to tell them that this is not just a product, this is not just a course, this is not just a service, it is a movement. And so here we go. Here's a note that I want you to get. Your movement is a stand that is for or against something. Your movement is for or against something. So if you are a relationship coach, you might be taking a stand for healthy marriage, or you might be taking a stand against the divorce rate. Right? There's something that your audience is experiencing. There's a problem, there's a challenge, and God has raised you up to say, no more. I am building a movement to solve this problem. We are not doing this anymore. In my case, it is we are not staying stuck in confusion and confusion and not knowing how to build the businesses that God has given us. We're not going to circle around in the wilderness for 40 years like the children of Israel. We're going to figure out how to grow these businesses with integrity, with strategy, and with intention so that we can transform the lives that God has called us to, including our own, because he told us in his word in Deuteronomy that he's given us the power to get wealth. And he told us in John 10:10 that I've come that you would have life and life more abundantly. Right. And so that's the movement that I am building, that I'm taking a stand for abundance and against stagnation and confusion. What is the movement that you are taking a stand for and against in your coaching business? Because it is that clarity, it is that cause, it is that messaging that's going to rally people around. The reason that I can see consistent clients, the reason that I see constant women of faith who are coaches on my doorstep, like, yes, help me, is because they see the movement that I am building and it speaks to them. Now, another thing about building a movement, and I'll probably get into my other notes. So let me just come back, right? Because I get excited. I'm on point one, which is that your movement needs a cause, right? So you're taking a stand for or against something. You need to choose a disruptive action and a title that draws people in. When I first launched the Income Incubator this year, so many of you, if you've been following my journey, you know I was on sabbatical from the end of 2021 into the fourth quarter of last year. And so this year I stepped back into coaching and automatically built a business that makes 5 figures plus every month. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to rally the troops. I want to see other women experiencing the accelerated success that I'm experiencing, right? And so you need to choose a disruptive message. My disruptive message was, we're It's time out for not seeing consistent sales. And as soon as I put the income incubator out there, people were drawn to it and flocked to it in record time. Why? Because I chose disruptive messaging for my audience and said, enough is enough. How long are you going to have this business and not generate consistent sales? How long are you just going to circle and say, well, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what to do. Enough is enough. That was my disruptive messaging. And it's funny because when the clients that I get, tend to be in that place. They feel like enough is enough. I'm sick of this. I've been to the conferences, I've done the webinars, I've done this, I've done that, and I still don't know what to do. Enough is enough. I'm here, Tiffany, for clarity. I'm here for strategy. I'm here for you to help me get this business finally to bring in the money that I want. What about your cause? What is the thing? What is the disruptive action that you are trying to get your audience to take place? Let me go back to the example of a relationship coach. If you're a relationship coach, the disruptive action you might be trying to get people to take is to be whole and happy before they get into a marriage so that they can experience a blissful, beautiful marriage. Or you might be trying to get people to do the disruptive work of not considering divorce and building and healing the marriage that they have. Right? So, there are 6 of these steps, and I already see that based on the time, I'm not going to get through all 6 of these today. So I'll do part 1 and I'll come back for a part 2. But the first one is your cause. The second one is your content. Now, this is important because there are many different ways that you can do a live sell moment. The 3 that I personally teach and strategize with my clients are webinar, challenge, and masterclass. Because depending on what you sell, you may need, I find that for my clients that have a membership or something that is more community based, I often recommend that they do a challenge or a multi-day sell, which is like a masterclass, because people need more time to bond with them and their content. People are not just buying what you sell, they're buying you. And so if you have a membership, I'm going to be launching a membership through Save Black Girl in later this year. And you're going to see me do a 5-day experience. Why? To bring people into the ecosystem long enough to connect with the messaging and say, yeah, I'd like to be a part of that. Right? So the second one after your cause is your content. What is the mechanism that you're going to use to take this disruptive messaging to your audience to say, hey, wake to sound the alarm for whatever solution you fix, whatever problem you solve in the world, you've got to now choose your content and your mechanism, your live selling method that you're going to use to go to the market and sound the alarm. It may be a webinar. It may be a live virtual conference, right? It may be a 2-day masterclass. It may be a 3-day or 5-day challenge. With the client that I just worked with, she was launching a membership, right? And so I said, oh, well, we need to do she did a 3-day challenge and made $20K, right? And so let's keep going. Actually, let me back up. One of the things I want to say about your content, a lot of people ask me, this is a big question I get constantly. How do I know I'm giving away too much? How do I not give away too much? When you are doing your live selling moment, number one, you want to be building rapport with your audience. Who is it that they're going to be purchasing from? Who is it that they're getting to know? You want to be showing your receipts. You want to be flexing your expertise. You want them to buy into your authority and your credibility. And that takes up time through content, through storytelling and the like. But also, you want to be walking them through the process. Here's the how. You tell them the what, right, through your disruptive messaging. Here's the problem you're experiencing. Here's what's going on. And then you walk them through, here's the solution. This is what I'm doing for you right now, right? So I started off this live stream telling you that the big problem is you're not launching. And now I'm walking you through the steps and the pieces and the components of having a massive movement launch, right? And so we talked about the cause, but when it comes to your content, You want to walk them through your process. So when people enroll in your coaching program or your course, they are paying for a faster, more proven way to get to their solution. I've been saying this a lot to clients lately, and I'm going to say it here. I said this to a few clients on our coaching calls recently. Here's the truth. I was going to say the ugly truth. I don't know if it's ugly though. But here's the truth. Your clients can get to their solution without you. Now hold on, because there's good news coming. They can. If they don't take your course, if they don't work with you in your coaching, they can get to their solution without you. You want to know the B clause of that though? It's going to, if they get there, it's going to take them so much longer, and they're going to bump around and stumble and waste so much time and money on their way to that solution. And so what you need to be clear on is that in your selling and in your positioning of your course and your coaching program, it's not that you're the only way to get there, because you're not, but you are the more proven and the more faster and more efficient way to get there. Why does that matter? Because during your live selling moment, you want to be walking them through, here's the process that I myself have proven, and now here's the process I'm inviting you into to get to that solution quicker and without stumbling around a bunch of times. That is what makes people, all of the clients who sign on with me, it's not that they couldn't have figured it out or stumbled and bumped around and wasted another year or two. They certainly could have. They signed on for my coaching because they say, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not bumping my head around anymore. I want to tap into a proven system. I want someone to give me something that definitely works and that can get me there faster. And that is what you are going to be featuring in your content. Okay. So when you do your 5-day challenge, when you do your webinar, when you do your masterclass, you are giving them the roadmap of, here's how I'm going to get you from pain to promise. Okay. This is definitely part one because I'm literally halfway through my notes. So next week, I'm going to come back and do part two. However, the last one I'm going to leave you with is the commitment. So we talk, if you just hopping on, we're talking about the number one marketing mistake I shared. Well, that was country mistake that I shared was that you are not live launching. You're posting on social media, you're sharing a little bit, but you are not creating major live launch selling moments, and you're missing out on money and data because of it. So that's what I started. And I gave you the first 3 of a 6-step journey that, based off of time and me wanting to be off of here in about 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to give you the second part next week. So I talked about your cause. I talked about what are you taking a stand for or against. I talked about you having disruptive actions and messaging. Okay. Then I talked about your content. What is the mechanism that's going to now lay out the roadmap of how you move people from where they are to where they want to be? The third thing is what I call commitment. This is having a strategy to get people to actually sign up and opt in for your live launch. Let me tell you something. Attention is key. Like when you look at social media and all of this digital marketing, attention is prime real estate. And there is so much competition for your audience's attention. So when it comes to commitment, when we get to this part of the strategy, what I work with you on is, how are we going to get the attention, excuse me, of your audience, and how do we get them to commit to showing up to be a part of the movement that you are building? If you're doing a masterclass, if you're doing a 5-day challenge, how do we get them to say, I absolutely need to be a part of that? Now, there are a couple of things that we walk through when it comes to this commitment. Number one, we look at paid ad strategy. I will tell you now that if you're looking to grow your business with consistency, with predictability, you cannot only do it with organic. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, I'm trying to be intentional with my language, right? You can, but you are going to see better results when you use some type of paid lead generation traffic, some type of mechanism. And I typically do Facebook and Instagram ads. And so I show my clients how to set up Facebook and Instagram ads that do what I call disrupt your scroll. Make people stop their scroll and go, oh, this is something I need, right? And so we work on your creatives and we work on the copy and the messaging that gets the attention, that really disrupts their scrolling, that makes them say, man, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is literally an answer to prayer. How do I become a part of this? Okay. Then we talk about your organic strategies. We talk about your social media. We talk about collaborating with others, doing affiliates, and all of these different things. We talk about email strategy. How can you use your email list or other people's email list to get in front of the people that you need to get in front of? And so that's the third one, is the commitment. How do I get people to see bigger than just the webinar or the masterclass, but really to see the movement that I am building, to see the cause that I am pushing, and say, I want to be a part of that. That speaks to me. Whatever it is that you are building, right? So let me bring this in conclusion. I see there's going to be a part two, so I'm not going to force all of the notes out now, and my throat is not trying to let me be great. So I'm going to get out the last 60 to 90 seconds of this, and then I'll be back next week. Now, let me say this. If you are a coach or a consultant and you don't have these things in place, you know good and well that you don't have a live launch strategy, you don't have a mechanism, you don't really have a way to consistently generate clients, I want you to send me a message. If you are on YouTube, I want you to go to TiffanyBethia.com and send me a message. I want you to, and actually I can place it in here. um, I want you to book a discovery call with me. You can actually even go to, I'm going to put it in here now, incomeincubator.co. Now this is important. It's .co, not .com. All right. Go to incomeincubator.co to learn more about. There are two levels to the income incubator. The first level is for the person who needs to generate consistent sales in their business, not seeing consistent coaching clients. You can go to incomeincubator.co, sign up for a discovery call, and let's talk about your specific business, who you serve, and what the strategy needs to look like for you to begin seeing consistent clients in your business. If you're on YouTube, you obviously can't send me a message, but you can go to incomeincubator.co to learn more about the program. This program is specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers. So if you sell hats or makeup or tangible products, this is not going to be for you. But if you've got a course or a coaching program or a service-based business, this is for you. Okay. So while that's there, let me recap what I've talked about. If you're on Instagram, you don't see the lower third there, but you can just send me a DM and I'll send you the link. Okay. So here's what we talked about as a quick recap. The number one marketing mistake that coaches are making is you are not live launching. You are creating a program, you're creating a course, and then you're posting it a couple times and hoping that somebody's going to sell. And that is not marketing. That is magic or hocus pocus. Okay. What you need is to be hosting a live launch moment. What did I say a live launch was? It's a time sensitive live selling moment that you invite your audience into to give them an opportunity to enroll in your signature offer. It provides motivation, it provides urgency and scarcity for them to actually work with you now. Okay? Some of the benefits I talked about were, I just said, urgency and scarcity, real-time feedback on your offer. There's no better data than actually conversing with your audience. And you get real-time feedback and data on your marketing content. Does this land? Does this convert? Now, I only got through the first three. So the first three that I talked about in the movement launch method, this is my signature method that I've used to build my own 5-figure plus a month business and help my clients. One of my most recent clients just had a 20K launch from her 3-day challenge. And this is what I walked her through. Here are the first three, and I'm going to give you the second three on next week. So first, we talked about your cause. What is the cause? You're not just selling a course or a coaching program. There's a movement. There's something that God has called you to stir in the earth, whether it's in finances or relationship or spiritual health. There's something that God has called you to stir in the earth to change. There's a problem, and God has called you to say, enough is enough. We're not going that way anymore. We are turning around and we're going that way. For me, it is stagnation. It is lack of being able to generate wealth in your business because you're confused and you don't know what to do. That is what God is calling me to say, enough is enough. We're not doing that anymore. Here's the clarity and the strategy that you need, right? But what about you? The second one is your content. What method are you going to use to share with your audience? Is it a 5-day challenge? Is it a 3-day challenge? Is it a webinar? Is it a masterclass? One of the things that we would do is work together based on your offer is to figure out what type of live selling strategy makes the most sense and what is your content going to be. Your content is going to walk them through the process and your journey or your framework from getting them from pain to promise. And then lastly, the third thing I shared, and we'll do part 2 next week, is the commitment. How do we get these people to register and to be a part of what I'm actually building? What is the messaging? Am I doing ads? What am I posting on social media? What am I sending to my email list? How do I get to other people's email list? And what is the overall strategy I will use to get people to actually sign up? These are the first three things that I walk you through in the Income Incubator when it comes to building out your live launch moment. Okay. And if you don't, above all, if you don't have this, if above all you just guessing, if I asked you right now, what does it take for you to generate a client? How much does it cost for you to generate a client? And you don't know, but you are trying to build a coaching business, a successful, viable coaching business, then you need to get on the phone with me. Go to incomeincubator.co to learn more about the program. There are 2 different levels. This conversation is for people who are a good fit for level 1, but there is a level 2 for people who have generated consistent sales and now you're ready to make that more passive. You're ready to automate that. That is the second level of the Income Incubator. And if you fit there, if you need a surefire marketing strategy to get consistent sales, or you're getting consistent sales, but now it's time to like make this money in my sleep, I'm tired, I keep showing up live, then go to incomeincubator.co to learn about the program and to apply by hopping on a call with me. All right, guys. I hope that this has been helpful. More than anything, I just pray that something stirs in your spirit. Every client that I sign on has been stuck, has been spinning their wheels. And more than anything, whether you work with me, whether you work with anyone else, get out of the stuck place. Don't stay in the stuck place because God has called you to some very specific people. There are people who are praying for an answer. He has put the solution inside of you. And every day that you stay stuck and confused, it's not even just about the sales and the money. It's about the fact that they don't get the answer. Thank you so much, Pastor Marlon. I appreciate that. Every day you stay stuck and confused, they don't get the answer that they need. And so this breakthrough is not only for you and your business, but it's also for the people who need what you have. All right. All right, guys, that is it. I'm going to hop back on here on next Wednesday for part 2. I'm going to give you the other 3 parts of the framework of the movement launch method to jumpstart your business. But if you know you need to have a conversation with me, run, don't walk. Go to incomeincubator.co hop on a call with me. It's a no pressure call. I just want to help take a look at your business, figure out where you're stuck and how we can get you past that point. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying with and for you. Don't forget that God has given us the power to get wealth. Let's use these businesses to change lives, and our life is going to be one of them. All right. See you guys. Bye bye.